Our weather pattern is changing again. We had a cold pattern and then switched to a warm pattern, which we're in right now for most of us. And then it looks like it's been switching back to a colder pattern and a stormy pattern. First, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, help the channel to grow. So here is the GFS, the latest GFS for total snowfall over the next 2 weeks, about 15 days or so. Has 1 to 2 feet of snow in the major cities, DC, up through Philly, New York, Boston. Some snow back through the central part of the United States. Major snowfalls in the mountains of the western part of the United States. Now, is it going to happen exactly like this? No. But it shows you that the models are seeing this major pattern change in the potential with this upcoming new weather pattern. So we'll take a look at the upper atmosphere and then we'll take a look at the surface. So here's the GFS ensembles that just came out. Really want to focus on the Arctic, right? So, up here at Alaska, over the Arctic Ocean, and then Greenland. But you can see right now we have ridging over much of the country, and that's why we're seeing warmer than normal temperatures, spring-like weather in some places. Now, as we go forward, so this is now the end of the week, and what we see as we go into the weekend, that ridge really start to build over Alaska, right? That's our negative EPO, which translates to colder weather in the United States. And then we see ridging starting to build here over Greenland. And watch as we go forward. So this is now February 9th, and we'll go forward. Look, those ridges connect. So this is now the 12th. So that we have massive negative EPO, negative NAO, strongly negative Arctic oscillation. So we have those 3 features, and all 3 of those features equal colder than normal weather across much of the country, as well as stormy weather as well. So that's now the 12th. We'll continue to put this forward here, and you can see that this pattern really is not going anywhere. Matter of fact, if anything, it's just reinforcing itself. This is now the 16th, and look at all those deep reds, right? Those deep colors there. That is your positive values, which actually translates to a negative, negative values there of the Arctic oscillation, the North Atlantic oscillation, which is the NAO, and the EPO, the Eastern Pacific oscillation right there. So all 3 of those kind of come together, forming one huge, massive block over the Arctic, over Greenland, the northern Hudson Bay. So whenever you see that, that's dislodging the cold air south into the United States. It also creates for more stormy weather, especially along the East Coast. Whenever you see the negative AO, it's particularly the negative NAO, that will increase snowfall and winter storm threats along the East Coast. And that's part of the reason why I showed you that GFS total snowfall over the next 2 weeks. You saw that major snowfall that it was showing along the major East Coast cities. So definitely seeing something here. So it's getting interesting as we go into second week of February and beyond. And when I look at the models, it's this doesn't look like it's going to be breaking down anytime soon. If anything, reinforced as we go towards the say the latter third of February and possibly even beyond, depending on what happens with the stratosphere. Long ways from being certain at this point. Just kind of calling it as I see it right now. So as we go over to the surface, I'll take a look. So this is today, system in the West Coast, bringing rainfall for central northern California, mountain snows into the Sierra. And then we'll see a system forming. This is kind of our first winter threat here in this new pattern. This is now Thursday, and we have interior wintry mix and snowfall to the north of that. So that could put down several inches of snow in the northeast. And then another one behind that. So this is now going into Super Bowl weekend. Once again, similar situation. We have interior winter mix there in the northern mid-Atlantic, and then snowfall to the north of that in northern northeast and into New England as well. And this was the one that really has my attention here. This threat, which is showing up on the models, this is now February 12th, and it looks like it just has a ton of moisture with it. So that is, I'm putting that on my calendar. So the February 11th to 13th time frame, need to watch out. That is a major signal here for a very big winter storm, particularly in the mid-Atlantic in northeast. And then that moves out, and then the European wants to get another system going towards the end of it. So heading into an active pattern, colder pattern, that's for sure. So let's actually pop over to the GFS ensembles, and we'll take a look at that other threat, that last threat that I was showing you for the 11th to 13th time frame. But just want to show you the 2-meter temperature anomalies here. So let's put this up today, and we can see cold air starting to bleed in to the northwestern part of the United States, right? Look at how warm it is across much of the country. That gets slowly beaten back, and there's kind of a battle, right, north to south. And then once we get past that 9th, 10th time frame, cold air really starts to take over. There is a little more of a battle. The southeast is the one area that's not as sure about as far as getting below normal. There's certainly going to be times below normal, but the southeast is going to be fighting the good fight, trying to hang on to that warmer than normal air. And I think just to the north of that, right across the mid-Atlantic and the northeast, that's where you have our battle zone, and that's where I think that storm track is going to set up. Over the next couple of weeks or so, once this really starts to settle in. But all the way through the end of the run, you can see all that cold air there across much of the country, right outside of the southeast. Southeast, we'll have to see if that MJO can get into phase 8. Then we might have a different story as we go towards the middle part of February. We'll just have to see about that. Now, switching over to the surface here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, so let's switch over to the surface here. This is the European ensemble. So wanted to highlight again that 11th to 13th time frame. So this is the European ensembles showing low and high pressure placement from all of its model runs. So that, again, the European ensembles is the European run at a lower resolution 50 times. So, all these red numbers you see, those are different low pressure placements. The blue, different high pressure placements. One thing that has me, really taking a look at this time frame is we have high pressure just ahead of the system. So that's going to have the cold air and funnel in that cold air into the system. And then what the European is showing, it looks like we have a primary going up west of the Appalachians, and then secondary low pressure forming. So kind of a Miller B type of look here in the European ensembles, and plenty of moisture showing up on the ensembles and the models as well. And that all transfers over to that secondary. So that is, it's interesting. There's definitely a cold air damming signal as well. So it could be some ice, with that system as well. So we'll just have to see. But 11th to 13th, so we're going to have a couple smaller systems before that, 11th to 13th. That's really the time frame I'm highlighting right now. And then beyond that, it looks like it's going to continue to be active, especially as that new pattern really sets in and that cold air continues to just funnel in. That's it for now. I'll have more updates. As we move forward towards this time frame, it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to put more updates to see what the models are showing about this. So, but that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.